If your TV sounds a little too thin and you're looking for a straightforward way to make movies, shows, music, and games sound much more immersive, the Philips B6309 2.1 channel soundbar is worth taking a closer look at. This soundbar is designed around a pretty simple concept. Give your television a much larger audio presence without requiring a complicated multi-speaker home theater system. You get the main soundbar, a wireless subwoofer, and several modern audio and connectivity features packed into one setup. The Philips B6309 uses a 2.1 channel configuration. The soundbar handles the majority of the audio, including dialogue, music, and sound effects, while the dedicated wireless subwoofer takes care of the deeper frequencies. That combination can make a noticeable difference compared with the small speakers built into most televisions. The biggest advantage of adding a dedicated subwoofer is the extra depth it can bring to your listening experience. Explosions in movies can feel more powerful, music can have a fuller low end, and soundtracks can feel considerably more engaging. The B6309 also supports Dolby Atmos, which is designed to create a more spacious and immersive sound experience with compatible content. While this isn't the same as having a complete surround system with physical speakers positioned throughout your room, Atmos processing can help make the audio feel larger than the physical size of the soundbar suggests. There's also DTS Virtual support. This technology is designed to create a more three-dimensional audio presentation through virtual processing. Instead of simply making everything louder, the goal is to make the sound feel wider and more immersive. That can be particularly useful when watching movies or action-heavy content where you want the soundtrack and sound effects to have more presence. Philips lists up to 320 watts of maximum power for the system, giving the B6309 plenty of headroom for filling a typical room with sound. Of course, wattage alone doesn't determine whether a soundbar sounds good. Tuning, speaker design, processing, and the way the subwoofer works with the main soundbar all matter. But the combination of a dedicated soundbar and separate subwoofer gives this system a clear advantage over relying entirely on your television's built-in speakers. Dialogue is another area where a dedicated soundbar can be useful. With many modern TVs, voices can sometimes get lost when background music and sound effects become louder. A dedicated audio system can provide a more substantial and focused presentation, making everyday television content easier and more enjoyable to listen to. Connectivity is also handled in a modern way. The Philips B6309 includes HDMI eARC, allowing it to connect to compatible televisions using a single HDMI connection. eARC can support high-quality audio formats and makes the overall setup much cleaner than using a collection of separate connections. Once everything is connected and configured, the soundbar can become the main audio output for your television. Bluetooth is included as well, which means the B6309 isn't limited to TV audio. You can connect a compatible smartphone or other device and use the soundbar to play music, podcasts, videos, or other audio content. That makes the system more versatile for everyday use. The physical design is relatively understated too. The dark gray finish gives it a modern appearance without making the soundbar look overly flashy. Its horizontal form is designed to sit naturally underneath the television, while the wireless subwoofer can be positioned separately in the room. The wireless connection between the subwoofer and soundbar also helps keep the installation cleaner. You still need to connect the subwoofer to power, but you don't need to run an audio cable between the two units. And that brings us to the main reason someone might consider the Philips B6309. It's about getting a more complete audio experience without dealing with the complexity of a traditional home theater setup. A full surround system can require multiple speakers, additional cables, an AV receiver, and careful speaker placement. The B6309 takes a much simpler approach. You essentially have the soundbar for the main audio presentation and the wireless subwoofer for the low end. For movies, that can mean a bigger and more engaging soundtrack. For sports, crowd noise and commentary can feel more substantial. For music, the subwoofer adds depth that television speakers generally struggle to produce. And for normal TV shows, having a dedicated audio system can simply make everything sound fuller. There are some limitations to keep in mind, though. This is still a 2.1 channel system, so it doesn't provide the same physical surround experience as a setup with dedicated rear speakers. DTS Virtual and Dolby Atmos processing can help create a wider sense of space, but virtual surround isn't identical to having speakers physically placed behind and around you. Likewise, people looking for an elaborate home theater with highly precise surround positioning may eventually want a more advanced system. But that's not necessarily what the Philips B6309 is trying to be. Its strength is simplicity. You get a soundbar, a wireless subwoofer, Dolby Atmos support, DTS Virtual, HDMI eARC, Bluetooth connectivity, and up to 320 watts of maximum power in a relatively straightforward package. For someone who simply wants their television to sound bigger, deeper, and more engaging, that combination makes a lot of sense. Ultimately, the Philips B6309 is designed to be an easy audio upgrade for everyday entertainment. It doesn't try to replace a huge dedicated home theater system. Instead, it focuses on giving your TV a more powerful audio experience while keeping the setup practical and relatively uncomplicated. If you're interested in better movie sound, stronger bass, clearer everyday audio, Bluetooth music streaming, and modern HDMI connectivity, the Philips B6309 is a soundbar worth considering. For more information about the Philips B6309 2.1 channel soundbar, visit the link provided in the description.